you joined and I didn't know yet, and you saw me like over here doing push-ups and going, "You could do this, Michael. Come on." Would you tell me you saw that, or would you just keep it to yourself?
Yeah, actually, I would probably root you on and hope that you heard me somehow. I'd be like, "Yo, keep going, man." Yeah.
Hold on one second. I'm just gonna adjust the fan for 1 second. I overheat like a motherfucker. I would die in Florida. I would die.
Yeah.
I
It's hot down
need
there.
I need a cold, dry environment.
Oh yeah, we spend most of our times indoors.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't freaking stand it. All right. Well, so to start, state your name, something about you, could be anything, what you do for money, a hobby, whatever you want to say, and then one of your favorite toy lines as a kid.
All right, cool. Just go.
Yep.
All right, cool. My name's Hex Martinez. Um, I live in Florida. I draw for fun, and I also sometimes make money from drawing doodles and illustrations and things like that. And my favorite toy line that can I give two?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So I have to give a shout out to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line,
Of course.
just for being brightly colored and very weird looking. I was really into that '90s like slime and like gross stuff, creepy crawlers and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But I was a big fan of the Ronin Warriors toys. I don't know if you remember those.
Yep.
Yeah, they were spring loaded, and
Yep.
you could
They're
draw
awesome.
back. Yeah, those were cool. They came with
We're
armor.
similar ages, right? You're in your 30s, or
Oh yeah, almost
okay, yeah.
40.
Yeah, okay, because
Yeah.
we probably played with the exact same toys growing up then.
Yeah.
Have you,
Ah, I just thought of one.
yeah.
There was one called Snailians, supersonic shell fighters that
It
were these.
sounds familiar. Let me see if I see.
Yo, there were these plastic toys that were snails wearing like wrestling singlets, and then you could put armor on them. So they had an armor shell and then another
Yes,
rubber shell
I
that was half a ball.
I absolutely had a bunch of these.
Yeah, they were
Yep, I'm looking
awesome.
at them now. I loved Dino Riders was a good one where like I didn't really watch the show, but I loved the toys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you weren't missing much. The theme song were the coolest things about those
Yeah.
80s.
And like SilverHawks I watched sometimes, but that toy line was really cool.
I was hooked on SilverHawks.
I
Yeah, I
gotta
love
I
SilverHawks.
want to go back and watch that one day. I feel like I didn't give it the time it deserves, but I love those toys.
I think I went back to watch Thundercats a couple years ago,
Mm.
and it was hard to watch. Like the
Yeah, see,
animation is
that's funny
really
you say
old and
that.
bad.
I watched it a few years ago and I enjoyed it, but I went in knowing this is not going to be like high quality entertainment. Like I knew
Yeah,
that going in. Who
you
is
have to
your
set expectations.
who is your Thundercat? Did you have one as a kid?
Oh yeah, Tigra.
Yeah, me too. Same
Tigra
here.
was my guy.
Yep.
He was invisible. He was cool.
He
He
was
had the
really
coolest.
awesome. um, would you rip your own tooth out with a pair of pliers for $50,000 if all medical expenses afterwards were covered? So it's yours.
Wow.
Pay is yours. Medical, you go get it sewed up, whatever the hell they do, all covered.
Do I get to choose the tooth?
Yes, you could choose the tooth.
Oh, then yeah, I would.
Yeah, you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Yeah.
ever done something? I mean, obviously not like that, but where you had to hurt yourself in order to maybe even like a bad splinter?
Yeah, without getting too gross, there was one time
Please get as gross as you want, please.
I had an ingrown toenail, and
Mm.
I'm not alone there. I think a lot of people have suffered that.
Oh, me.
Um,
I have
you
definitely.
know, I'm a constant groomer. I'm somebody who's clipping their nails all the time,
Hmm.
and I found out at a young age that if you clip too close, in your toenails, they'll start to grow like into your toe.
Yep.
So
Heard
I
that many
looked up
times.
a home remedy, which is basically take a piece of paper and fold it up a bunch of times, and then wedge it underneath your nail, and leave
Mm.
it there for a day or two while it grows, and it'll grow over
That
the
makes
nail bed.
sense. Yeah, because they do that whole torture thing with the bamboo or whatever, and you leave it under the nail and it grows in a weird way or whatever the hell. Oh no, it's the bamboo grows into your nail. I'm an idiot, into your
Yeah.
finger. Um, have you ever accidentally, keyword accidentally, seen anybody naked?
Accidentally?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did high school sports and I did drama,
Okay.
so there were a lot of naked people in high school. A lot of people. And then when I moved to Florida, it's so hot and humid that people just can't keep their clothes on, especially at
Right.
a certain age.
Right.
So yeah, like you would walk backstage and then see people changing. Oh, and then for a number of years, I'd go to conventions, and then we'd all cosplay and we'd
Hmm.
all share rooms. It'd be 10 of us in a room, 10 of us in a room, and we'd be changing because we'd had to. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like not even a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do cosplay. Is there one thing that sticks out in your mind as the best you've ever dressed up as, the best costume you've had?
Oh, my best costume. Oh, geez, it's been so long. Uh
When did you
oh,
stop? Like, what age did you stop going?
probably like in my mid 20s. I think I stopped
Okay,
like
so it's
making
been a good amount of
costumes.
years. Okay.
But I still go to conventions every now and then just to go like but I hardly ever dress up anymore. I kind of want to get back into it
Mm.
because it's been a while.
Oh, you were about to say. So did one pop in your head that was one of your best?
I think one of my favorite costumes, I did a Luigi's Mansion costume where I built the poltergust and had the thing. Oh,
That's
Macho
awesome.
Man Randy Savage. I did Macho Man Randy Savage once and it
Oh,
was
that's
really good.
great.
It was a
That's
great Macho Man
great.
costume.
That guy is incredible. I've watched a bunch of interviews with him a few years ago. I don't remember why. I just got on a kick. He is freaking awesome. His
Yeah.
interviews are so good.
I should go as Mike Tyson one year. I think it'd be kind of cool.
That's good too. I recently read something about him. Is he gonna fight again or something?
Yeah, he's I think he's getting back into training to fight I forget who's gonna fight. But he's in shape, man. For an
Yeah,
old guy, he's ripping it.
I mean, I could take him for sure, but I feel like you'd have trouble probably.
Yeah, he's not in his prime like he used to be. But
Uh, what's the last nightmare you remember having?
oh man, I had one recently. Oh, let me see if I can remember the
Mm,
details. I had a nightmare that involved. I think I was being held at gunpoint in somebody's house,
hmm
and we were trying to figure out like a way to communicate without the guy seeing us, so we could escape. And I have a lot of dreams where I get caught in these situations, and like I have to be the one to figure out a way out.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find that most of your nightmares are uh like about that type of stuff and not anything supernatural, like really grounded in reality, hostage stuff?
Oh yeah, always. A lot of my dreams are me in a cool situation, like at a party,
hmm
and like I go from one room to another room, living two lives, and those lives start to clash or something. Like,
So that's like your typical nightmare, that kind of scenario is going on.
oh yeah, yeah.
Have you ever like do you think okay, when did those type of nightmares start for you? Do you remember that?
Oh, after my teens, I think. Like sometime after my teens, I stopped having cool dreams.
hmm
No, mid 20s, mid 20s. I
Mid
stopped having really
20s. Oh
cool
wow.
dreams.
Okay.
Yeah, up until then, I can remember having like absurd dreams that I'd be like, "Wow, that was cool. I got to talk to you. Got to tell you about this weird dream. I was riding
Right.
Godzilla, and Rambo showed up, and flamethrower cars were a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Akira was there, and ever since then, it's been like stuff like you ever have that dream where you like check your email and you reply to two or three important emails, and then you wake up the next day and you didn't do it.
Not with emails, but I had dreams where when I wake up, I think the thing really did happen.
Yeah, or like I did something mundane, and then I wake up the next day and either it's done or it's not done.
Yep. I had a I don't know why this is so prominent in my memory, but as a kid, I had a dream that I had a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man toy. And I woke up and I looked for it for like 5 minutes. Well, maybe not 5 minutes. It was a good amount of time where I was looking around my room for it. And I was like, oh, I don't have that toy. And I was like, for some reason, it's burned into my memory. Just
I've
the
been there.
weirdness. Like, oh, it's so strange that I thought that was real.
Oh man, the toys I've invented in my mind that didn't exist.
Um, uh, is there something you did as a kid that was especially cruel that you still cruel, not cool, that you still think about to this day?
Yeah.
Would you
There
be
was,
willing to share it or?
yeah, sure. I mean, it was so long ago, and
Yeah.
like uh, but I do remember one time. Uh, this was like elementary school age. Like I was still in like maybe third grade, second, third
Mm,
grade, really young. And I remember coming across a bunch of neighborhood kids, like picking on some kid who wasn't from the neighborhood,
yeah.
and just happened to be walking by the park and decided to just join in and be mean to that kid
Yeah.
for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
And he wasn't from too far away, honestly. Like we ended up going to public school together at one point. He got his revenge.
Oh, did he really?
Oh, he sure did. Yeah, he caught me one day. He grew up big.
So he remembered that.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Wow.
don't know for sure if he remembered it, but we definitely clashed on a school bus home one day, and I got
Wow.
the
Did
crap beat out
he
of me.
initiate the clash?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Because
I
I
mean,
wasn't a
that
confrontational
can't be
dude.
can't be a coincidence. He had to have remembered somehow.
Yeah, maybe, but
I
I
mean, that
deserved
stuff,
it then.
but yeah, that stuff sticks. I mean, there's instances where that I remember people doing stuff to me in high school or anything like that, and I guarantee you they would not remember. I shouldn't guarantee. I bet you they wouldn't remember doing what they did, but I will always remember those moments.
I
Always.
think about that all the time.
Yeah.
There's a great line from the movie Street Fighter where Chun Li confronts the great Raul Julia and Bison,
Hmm.
and she's like, dude, you destroyed my village, you killed my parents, like, and he's like, who the heck are you? And she's offended, and he goes, look, the day that M Bison graced your village was the greatest day of your life, but for M Bison,
It was
it was
Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday.
I love that. He had
Yeah,
cancer during that. I'm nearly positive he had cancer
yeah.
during the filming of that.
Uh, Choking up already.
Yeah, freaking
Yeah.
great. You mentioned Akira before. Did you watch that as a kid?
Yeah, I did. I remember renting that one from the video store, and then not long later, it's showing up on like cable, which is cool.
Yeah, I feel so grateful that that was one of the first. It was like a bootleg VHS a friend of mine who was into like cool shit had, and I remember watching that as a kid. And first of all, feeling like, oh, this should be illegal. I should not be allowed to be seeing this right now because it was so different from anything I'd ever seen. And that movie will always be a part of me because it blew. I say blew my mind a lot, but I really do mean it when I say it. I get my mind blown fairly easily. But that said, it blew my mind. I was like, oh fuck, cartoons can do this. Like,
Dude, I get it.
changed my life and the way I saw art.
I remember watching some anime and hearing a character say bullshit and just rewinding the tape a bunch of times. Like, did you hear that?
What's the first horror movie you remember watching?
Oh, first horror movie. Probably the earliest horror movie franchise I can remember is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. What
I
age?
remember I was 6 years old, and I remember a bunch of cousins at my
That's
house watching it
brutal.
on TV, and me being too scared. You know
Yeah.
that thing you do when you're a kid where you kind of stand at the door frame? Well,
Yeah, I
well,
did that all the time.
trying to be cool, like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna chill here.
I like standing
I'm
over here.
watching. Yeah.
Yep. That movie at the age that we were, I mean, at least for me, I know some people who have they're lifelong horror fans, but they never were scared. They were always like, "Oh, this is cool." For me, for many, many, many years of my life, I was attracted to them, but terrified. Like the cool aspect was really low on my list. I was terrified, but I couldn't look away type of deal.
Yeah, I
They,
think that I just reached a certain age where like a switch went off,
mm,
and then you start finding dark things sort of like appealing.
yeah. And I think it's
That's
also
when,
personality based and how you cope with things.
yeah,
I don't know how prevalent this is, but I've heard it a lot when people are like, oh, the people who love horror movies is because they don't have any real problems in real life. I think I mean, maybe that's true for some people. I won't deny that. But for me, that is far from reality. Like why I'm attracted to horror movies has nothing to do with that.
yeah. I think that's sort of like an extremist view of or like because there is something there about like getting those what do you call it, the adrenaline going in a safe
Mm,
environment
mm-hmm.
where you know you'll be okay, but for some reason you're just like ah,
Right. And there's
you know.
also something to be said for like the whole misery loves company thing. Like if I'm feeling like shit, people say I'm crazy for this, but if I'm feeling like shit and sick and like just down, sometimes I'll put the movie The Road on, and it's a weird comforting movie for me because it's like, oh, I don't exactly know how to say this without coming off like an asshole because it's not like I'm going through what they're going through, but on some level, I'm watching people struggle as well, and it like helps me as in some way.
That's a release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you're just like activating that emotion and just like burning your way through it.
Right. And there's also something to be said for like just being attracted to darkness in general. Not everyone has a little darkness, but to different degrees, obviously. So like I've always been attracted to that, even when it's terrified me. Um, who raised you?
I was raised by my grandmother for probably the first like 12, 13 years of my life, and then
Mhm.
my mom.
And then your mom.
Hmm.
Are you close to both of them, or
Oh yeah,
are they both
that's
still alive?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you're
no, not my
so
grandmother. Not my grandmother.
okay. Okay, I was gonna say you're lucky. That's awesome if your grandma's still alive.
Yeah.
I lost all my grandparents long ago. We're
Oh
short.
really?
Yeah, we're short lived as a family.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting to that age where like my friends are dropping off like flies. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely it it's something that disturbs me greatly and I think about a lot. But as far as your grandmother and your mother, and you said you get along with both and you're like you were close to both.
Yeah.
Um, pick one of them, whatever one you want, and tell me if you can one positive trait you picked up and one negative trait in your own perception, whatever that means from one of them.
Sure. One positive trait I could definitely say that I got from my mother
Hmm.
is like a sense of self-awareness. Like I definitely have like a consideration about me. Like I never want to be a burden to people.
Mm,
I'm always kind of aware for signs that like I'm wearing out my welcome, or that like maybe I went too far, or something like that.
right.
Like, when like I'm real quick to decline help, like right off the bat. Like people have to insist and kind of
Yeah.
bend my arm a bit in order to kind of for me to let them help me through like a tough time, things like that. But at the same time, I think that it makes me compassionate, and I think
Right.
that it makes me, the kind of person who's, looking out for other people's well-being, which
Yep.
is cool. A negative trait that I picked up is probably my stubbornness.
Okay.
um, I think that when I get an idea in my head, sometimes it's not that I'm not willing to change it, but I'm not willing to change it without a fight.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
We're very similar. It's based on what you just said in our. I do the same thing with the whole like I don't want to be a burden. I will ask for help though, but only for very specific things that I know I cannot. Like anything technical, I'm terrible with tech shit.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, there's nothing I can do to understand this. I can read a million books. It doesn't matter. I need to ask for help. But I
Yeah.
don't like owing people money. If someone lends me money, that's the only thing I can think about until I pay them back.
Growing up broke, that's been a big thing for me. Is I hate
Yeah.
owing people money too. I can't do it.
I wonder if that is because I grew up on the low side of middle class, especially after my parents' divorce when I was about like 5 or 6, and
Mm.
uh, whatever. Let's not get into that. And I wonder if that has something to do with it, like not wanting to owe people money at all ever.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
I mean, I
definitely.
hate it. I do it when I need to because if I need something done and I just don't have the funds for it, and some like a really awesome restaurant owner, local one, overheard me talking about how I want to do a line of shirts, but I didn't have the $700 to put up for it. She came over and was like, I believe in that art you're doing. I will give you $700 to make those shirts. I
Yeah,
busted my ass selling until I think I already told the story, but whatever. I busted my ass selling those shirts till I got to $700 profit, gave it to her, and then almost stopped advertising it. I was like, I feel so much better now that I paid her back.
that's my thing. Is I would do the same thing. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Like I'm so scared to make those investments, but like I've been sitting on a Patreon that I haven't launched for like 2 or 3 years now.
really.
Yeah, I'm just scared to put it out there and
Yep.
then not be able to deliver for some reason.
Yep. Yep. I have the
Yeah.
same shit. We got to work on this. We definitely, I think we both benefit from like a little more of, I don't know what to call it, selfishness. I don't know what to call it, but I feel like it
I'm
would
getting
help.
better about it now. Now that I'm almost 40. Like,
Do you find yourself to be like typically empathetic as a person?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
am too, and it's held me back a lot in life.
Oh yeah.
uh, were you considered a troublemaker in school?
Not really, actually. I was pretty easy to deal with, I think, as a
Mm,
kid. I think that my thing is like I didn't like having to work. I didn't like having to do things. I was bad
mm,
at doing school assignments,
mm.
bad at doing homework. If like there was a chore that had to be done, I would definitely drag my feet about it. But that was it. Other than that, I was very easy or eager to please like
Right.
adults, to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically get them out of my hair.
Um, when was the last time you unexpectedly saw an insect near or on you in your home, and what did you do?
Uh, Last night there were mosquitoes everywhere,
Okay.
and I did what everybody does. Is I tried to swat as many as I could,
Did
but you never get them.
are mosquitoes like because you're in Florida is like a constant issue?
At least for the next like month or two.
Yeah.
Once the temperature drops, we'll be all right. But like during
Fucking hate them.
most of the year, they're just like you can't just be outside.
Ugh. Just a few more questions.
Yeah,
What's
sure.
something you do when you're alone, but nothing obvious, the things we all do when we're alone? But is there something like, I don't know, maybe you whistle or something like that that you wouldn't normally bring up to people, but you do?
Something I do when I'm alone. Like I don't want to be the obvious guy and say like sometimes I talk to myself. Like
No, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
think everybody like has like little arguments with like imaginary people in their heads, like
Yeah,
from
yeah.
like 10 years ago or whatever.
Yep.
Uh Sometimes I'll just speak gibberish, I guess. Like you're playing a game, you die, and you're just like, blah, 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 blah.
No, I curse and shit if when I'm like, motherfucker. That's funny. I can picture you walking from room to room just going,
Oh yeah, it's like real, like, speaking in tongues type of thing.
Do you have a specific set of pajamas?
No, I think I have a couple of different pajama pants I wear, or like some like athletic shorts, depending on the weather.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
t-shirts.
have you ever owned a matching pair of pajamas?
Yeah, and I own a onesie as well.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What kind?
This is a big purple onesie.
Like literally right now that fits you now?
Oh yeah,
That's great.
it's
Do
a
you do you
giant
like
onesie.
lounge in it?
Yeah, I used to. I got it to wear at a convention that was up north in Maryland during January, so it
Yeah.
was cold. So it's just like something to wear around the hotel.
I want a onesie so bad. I occasionally will put one in a cart on some like site but I never go through with it.
Now's the time, man. They got these skeleton ones on sale. You should try and find some. You look really good.
Gonna do that. All right, last question. Do you have a small piece of life advice, specifically something small, like an example would be like, if you actually, this kind of goes with what we were talking about before. If you owe someone money, immediately make a note of it somewhere or make a reminder in your phone. Don't just say, yeah, I'll pay you back, because you're going to probably forget. Something small, like that type of thing.
Something small. Don't write checks your ass can't cash.
That's good.
Your word is your word is your whole situation, your integrity. If you tell someone you're going to do something, don't agree to anything unless you really plan on taking that seriously.
I could not agree more. When people say yes to stuff and back out, and since it does drive me crazy, I've started to say over the years, like, look, if you're not sure, I'm absolutely okay with a maybe. That's fine. Don't say yes. I mean, obviously, if an emergency happens, fine, but don't say yes unless you're going to. No matter what I say, people will still do that for dumb reasons.
Yeah. You're saving us all a bunch of time by just saying no or maybe.
That's a great piece of advice. How about this? Don't be afraid to say maybe.
That's good, actually. That's snappy. You can put that on a mug.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say maybe.
Well, look, thanks a lot for doing this. Do you want anyone to follow you on anything?
If you on Instagram, Face Palm Beach, Florida, Face Palm Beach FL on Instagram. I'm doing kind of this like sticker thing that I haven't officially launched yet, but it's there.
Okay,
want to check it out.
Face Palm Beach.
Yeah, Face Palm Beach FL.
I like that
on Instagram. But Mike, it was so good to talk to you, and actually,
great.
This was cool.
This is awesome. We'll have to do it again, and we'll catch up online, like writing and shit. But it was nice to finally talk to you face to face.
Definitely, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Have a fantastic day.
See you later.
Peace out.